Alright folks, we are going into a game where we have created the objectives and all the other fun things. What you see on the table of these 5 white dice are the take or break objectives. The attacker, that would be Nathan's armless horde over here, is going to be defended by my weird brood over here of mixed arms. What they're going to have to do is they have to get to between 3 hexes and 6 hexes depending on their level of equipment, and actually roll for each of the objectives. We haven't decided exactly what they need to roll. I'm going to go with high, they are a take objective, and low, they're a break objective. The break objectives, they have to do 8 points of damage to. The take objectives, they have to get off their table edge. And by the way, this lovely mat is courtesy of an Adepticon find. One of my friends, actually Josh, went to, Adepticon, and he's like, hey, there's this Battletech stuff here. Do you want one of these? I'm like, yes, please bring that home. So he did, and this is a double-sided mat. Eventually I'll show you the other side. But yeah, this is beautiful, and there's like levels and stuff and trees. So this is not going to be your standard game of Alpha Strike because we are in a crowded game store today. Try not to show people's faces because I didn't ask their permission or anything. But there's a bunch of people here playing a bunch of different kind of games. And yeah, so we're both going to be using dice towers to roll stuff because I finally am getting Nathan his Christmas present. And yeah, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to walk you through as much as I can. Hopefully you can hear me. Otherwise, I'll have to do some kind of subtitles or something. All right, so we're going to do deployment. Okay, so let me go back through this. The attackers have 300 points. The defenders have 400 points. But the defenders are only going to deploy 200 points. And then every turn after the third turn, they roll for reserves. On turn 3, they have to roll a 1 or lower to bring in units. On turn 4, they have to roll a 2 or better. On turn 5, it's a 3 or better, so on and so forth until turn 8 and everything shows up. The attackers have, Nate, did we say 9 turns or 10 turns to either take or break everything? They've got some number of turns. It's either 10 or less. I don't remember it at the moment, but with these games usually don't take that long, so we'll see how this goes. And yeah, we're gonna start deployment. And oh no, I should go through the forces. So everything on my side is skill 2 or skill 3, and the commando is skill 2, and the SRM carrier is skill 2. Everything else I brought is skill 3. We have 2 Bulldog medium tanks. We have an Ontos heavy tank. We have a Demolisher heavy tank. This is a Mark II. We have an SRM carrier, which is a 3054 upgrade. We have a light support, a Hunter light support tank, which is the LRM version, and a Poe heavy tank. This is what is commonly referred to as the poor man's Patton or Rommel. And then we have 4 mech busters. Mech busters can carry 2 bombs, and they do 3 at short and 3 at medium. I have 4 of those, which are proxied by my A10 tank killers, which I think is appropriate. We have a Firestarter S1. This one has AMS and ECM, also has heat because it's a Firestarter and it should. I have a Fenris H. I have an Ice Ferret H. It's got a bunch of different weapons. I don't remember exactly what it's got. I have a Valkyrie QA and a Commando 5S. And those are my forces. Let's go look at what Nathan brought today. Nathan has a Jenner K, a Cicada 3G, which is Energy Probe and Recon, a Raven 3M with Snark and IF, a Panther with SRM, a stalker with snark and a bunch of missiles, a catapult with a bunch of missiles and probe, and recon, a Zeus with missiles, and a dragon. This is actually a decent dragon. I say that because I'm not a Karita player and I don't find those to be wonderful machines. But yeah. So just as a review, if something gets narked, then missiles do an extra point of damage. Anti-missile system removes 1 die from the damage pool. And if the objectives are inside of an enemy ECM field, which will only be from my fire starter, then they have to half the range of the unit trying to scan. So if a unit has a probe, it can scan at 6 hexes. If it doesn't have a probe, it has to scan at 3 hexes. If it doesn't have a probe and it's in an ECM field, it's going to have to touch the objective, which in this case I'm going to say has to occupy the same hex as the objective. Because in Alpha Strike, the range would be inside of 2 inches, which is the same hex that they would be occupying. So sorry about all of the noise, but we're going to try to get through this game and have some fun. Alright folks, I forgot to do the deployment thing. We decided that the defend, and by we I mean I decided that the defenders had a 6 hex range to deploy, while the attackers had a 3-inch hex. Probably should have had the attackers walk on, but oh well, not a big deal. Just because that would have made some sense, and then he still would have been able to react to me. But in theory, they're all going to move around the same pace until they have contact with a couple of them that are moving forward. But oh well. These objectives are a little bit harder to find whenever I look at a map like that. There we go. So this is really the map we're looking at. We've got a pretty big hill here. This is all level 2 in front of my tanks. So line of sight is going to be a cluster of fun this game around. I think the only tank that has... Oh no, I've got 2 tanks with line of sight. These guys can see the cicada, because this guy is up on level 2. This guy's up on level 1. There's level 2 in the way, so he's going to get partial cover from the bulldog, but not from the hunter light support tank. And then the cicada is not in a woods hex, so but he's at a modifier of 4. So we'll see how this goes. They're going to be long range. Normally, Alpha Strike is a 6, 24, 42 for range, but on a hex grid, it is 3, 6, 21. So, yeah. So let's have some fun with this. All right. After the first long range barrage from the, what are you again?
The 4th Kavalleri.
The 4th Kavalleri, which is a unit from the Free Rasselhag Republic. Or Rasselhag. I don't remember how Aiden told me to say it, but he did multiple times. So, they scanned this objective. It is a break objective, which is why it shows a 6. The rest of them are unscanned, so they're going to show 1s until we know. If they're a take objective, I'll move it to a 2. And if they're a break, we'll move it to a 6. So he has to do 8 points of damage to that target right there, and he doesn't have line of sight to it because there's a ridge line here of level 2 and level 3 in front of him, and then there's level 1s here. So he's got some stuff in the way and he has to get closer. My SRM carrier was stripped of armor and then immediately immobilized due to a motive hit. A motive crit, basically. So, the nice gun that I had in this fight over here just got kaput. So I'm just going to remove him from the table, because when the tank gets immobilized, the crew abandons ship.
Do they really?
Yes. They don't get to stay there. They're like, nope, mechs are here, bye. I'm not sitting in this box of gonna explode later. So yeah, that really sucked because SRM carrier does 6 at short, 6 at medium, nothing at long range, but also had snark. So I could do 7s and help my friends shoot stuff better. And that was turn 1. Now we're gonna go into turn 2. Shot. All right, so we have one objective where the orange die is a destroyed pile of stuff. It got scanned by the catapult and then destroyed by the catapult, the panther, the Zeus, and the stalker. Between those 4 mechs, they were able to do 8 points of damage and destroyed the thing. I feel like we should have taken it to 10, but oh well. Either way, the stalker would have been able to finish it off. Nothing has fired at this yet. We now know that this objective is a break objective. The Ontos is sitting on it like a good heavy tank does. It's like, yeah, you have to come get me before you can shoot at this thing. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes. No, this will be the beginning of whenever I get to roll for dudes to come in. So this will be the start of turn 3. Oh, I didn't shoot anything because I'm hiding, like good tanks do, until more friends show up. It is. Alright, so just real quick, at the beginning of turn 3, my commando is going to come on side 1, and my ice ferret is going to come on side 3. He's all the way back there. He found a way to, like, come in from where the bad guys were. Maybe he was chasing them. I'm not sure how he would be chasing them without ECM or active camo or something, but he doesn't have any of that. He's just sneaky, I guess. So yeah, he's going to cause some havoc back there. And now we're going to go through what will be the start of turn 3. Alright, folks. Well, Nathan is almost out of rerolls for one of his groups, and he's only used... He's got 6 total. He started with 12 for his 2 lances. The Ice Ferret came on the table and got pummeled by the Zeus and the Stalker. He has 1 point of internal left and should technically be trying to force withdrawal off of his table edge, which happens to be the other side of the map. So he's going to try to get to the other side of the map. Not that that wasn't his objective to begin with. But now he only has 1 point of structure left. So he's in a bad place. He's also been narked, which is why he's taken 2 extra points of damage, which really sucks. Speaking of being narked, the Demolisher has been narked and has been tagged for 1 point of damage. Nobody else has been narked. The Raven's the one doing the narking. And both of the Bulldogs are down to half movement. So, they have a minimum move of 1 hex, but now they have 2 hexes of actual movement. But they can always move at least 1 because of minimum movement rules. So as long as they still have movement, they can move 1. Let's see. These 5 units did not shoot anything because they don't have line of sight to anything. These 3 shot over there. This guy shot to the Panther. Panther shot back and punished him. Catapult tried to IF and didn't work out very well. And now we're off to turn 4. Hopefully I get some airplanes in here. So turn 4, one of my airplanes is coming on the board, and he has to fly across the entire board, so he's going to get shot at by somebody. The fire starter is going to come on from that side, and I'll fill you in whenever we get done with turn 4. Bottom of turn 4, we have 2 dead Bulldogs finally. We have a fairly mangled light tank. We have an annoyed Demolisher, an Ontos that hasn't done anything, a Poe that finally decided to step up and shoot the Jenner. My airplane's over there, it also shot at the Jenner. The Jenner has 1 point of life left. Speaking of hanging on by a thin line, the Panther has no armor left. I think it's just on its 3 points of internal structure. The fire starter set the catapult on fire, so it's going to be running warm. The Raven finally died due to the Ice Ferret. The Bulldog the Hunter light support tank and the Commando all shooting at it. The Commando easily is trying to make his points back. He'd had the kill shot on the Raven. The problem is the Commando is 23 points in skill 2 because I had enough points to make him skill 2. And he killed the Raven, which was 24 points, but not by himself. The Ice Ferret didn't have a chance to make his points back. He fought 2 assault mechs. Granted, one of them is an 85. No, they're both 85 tons. No, the Zeus is 80 and the Stalker is 85. Forgive me if I'm wrong there, but they're both lighter end assault mechs. The airplane is going off of that table edge. Will show up again, not next round, but the round after. So he'll show up on turn 6. Hopefully I'll get some more airplanes in and maybe a Valkyrie. But these 2 tanks are dead. And so the kill count at this point is 4 dead defender things. One of them got immobilized on the first round, which was due to my stupidity. I shouldn't have put it out that far. But I was hoping he wasn't going to be able to draw a line of sight through this weird chasm of levels and stuff. So that sucked. But yeah, Raven died. And the Jenner's almost dead. And it's turn 4. And he has to come and get this objective, do 8 points of damage to that one, 8 points of damage to that one, 8 points of damage to that one. So arguably in 3 turns of breaking stuff, and 1 turn, probably 2 turns to come get this thing, and then 6 turns to leave. That's not making it off the table. But I'm not going to tell him that, because he'll just break it for 5 damage and get 1 point. So, but that could be the difference between winning and losing. We shall see. Yeah. Arguably, there's some things that probably should have done differently with the scenario, but we're having fun. We're playing Battletech. It's a weird hybrid of Alpha Strike and classic Battletech. So far, I really thought that this map was going to be easier to maneuver. Mostly because I thought it was more flat than this one is. So that's my fault. But yeah, next time we try a hex map, it probably won't be with Nathan. He's not a big fan of hex maps at the moment. But yeah, that was turn 4. Alrighty, folks. So this is the bottom of turn 5. The Cicada decided it wanted to do a DFA on the Commando. So the Ontos, the Hunter light support tank, and the Commando all shot the Cicada and killed it in the air. If the Commando had not finished off the Cicada, it would have killed the Commando because the Cicada will do 5 points of damage in flight. From doing DFA successfully. It would have not taken a point of damage because it's DFAing a Commando. If it had failed, it would have taken a damage because it screwed up. But the airplane back there with the die on it, it's dead. The blue one will get to come on this turn. The Ontos got tracked. The Ontos took 2 points of damage and then was immediately immobilized because it's a tank and has to roll on a separate set of critical effects. So my Ontos is dead because it was tracked. That was the same thing that happened to the SRM carrier, which is not this thing. This thing got legitimately destroyed. Yeah, so that kind of sucked. But we killed a Cicada. Yeah, that was not worth the Ontos. The Poe failed to kill the Jenner. Alright, I rolled crit for the Jenner and dealt nothing. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you bring battle mechs to a Battletech fight instead of bringing tanks and conventional aircraft. Because battle mechs are better. Yeah. Somebody learn this lesson because I'm apparently not. Honestly, I think it's fun for me to do silly things. So yeah, one of my airplanes is dead. Will you grab me that one?
gonna put this one here because this one actually has like
Bombs glued to it?
bombs glued to it.
All of them.
Because I didn't have time. I put them together last night.
Oh. Also, why you put bombs on that? You can work on it. Just carry lots of Gatling around.
So 2 airplanes have showed up. One of them has died. There's still a Valkyrie and 2 airplanes that need to show up to the fight. Hopefully they show up this time. I need to roll 4s or better at the end of turn. At the beginning of turn 6. This objective has taken 4 points of damage. That objective, this objective, and that objective have not been touched. This one is literally supposed to be picked up and taken off the board. Otherwise, I get 3 points. Unless he destroys it and he gets 1 point. So yeah. But we're only gonna have time to play through like 1 more turn because I'm supposed to be somewhere. Alrighty, folks. That was the end of turn 5. On to turn 6. All right, bottom of turn 4. All of the airplanes and the other mech have made it to the table. The Valkyrie decided to try to kill the Panther by DFA. Failed, did a damage to itself. The Demolisher shot at the Dragon over there. I don't think he did very much. One of the airplanes killed the Jenner. One of the airplanes buzzed the Dragon. One of the airplanes buzzed the Zeus. The Commando and the Firestarter tried to deal damage to the Zeus. I'm sorry, the Demolisher didn't shoot at the Zeus. He didn't shoot at the Dragon, he shot at the Zeus. Yeah, so the Zeus is running. The Dragon... and the Zeus also has a point of heat. The Dragon has 5 points, 1 external, 2 internal. The Catapult is 3 outside, 3 inside. The Stalker couldn't care less, but can't chase things down because he's just slow to begin with. And the Panther has 2 points of internal left. The 3 airplanes are all off the table for this turn. So on turn 6, the ground units have to keep themselves alive. I've got 3 light mechs, 1 assault tank, 1 heavy tank on the table, and he did no damage to that objective. So if he destroys that one or takes this one off, he wins, because I've only got these 2 objectives on the table left. So the only other way that I would win is I destroy all of his peoples. So... and I'm still not so sure that would work. So, yeah. Alright, folks, that was the end of turn 5, on to turn 6. Alright, folks, this is bottom of turn 6. The Panther and the Catapult are still alive. Never mind that airplane, it's actually off the table. The Poe is still alive. The Demolish... all of the things are not dead. Nothing died. The Panther has 1 point remaining. The Catapult, did he take damage? No. Catapult is still 3 armor and 3 structure right now. Yep. Firestarter took 1. Demolisher still naked. The Poe got beat up. He's down to 2 points of structure, but he's the only thing on that side of the table right now. So, yeah. So turn 7 becomes super important. Alright, folks, we decided to call this for the sake of time. I'm probably an hour and a half to 2 hours from where I'm supposed to be. Time, that thing that slips away. And the game store is becoming super loud because there are people here playing D&D. So, yeah. So my 3 airplanes are still alive. They would have destroyed something this turn. I have 3 battle mechs and a tank that are fully functional. That Poe over there is limping along. The Panther, Catapult, Zeus, and Dragon are unhappy, if not immediately dead. And then the Stalker's like, I'm too slow to get anywhere any fast. So we've called this somewhere between a draw and a minor victory for the FRR. We both had a lot of fun. Learned some things about silliness that I bring to the table all the time. And our cleanup is really easy because we just put the things back in the boxes and then roll up the map. Hopefully, Nathan will forget this experience and we'll get to try hex grids again. But next time I'll bring a less busy hex grid. Or we'll just ignore levels and it'll be trees. So, alright folks, that's all we have for today. Have fun, hope you enjoyed this, because we did. Alright, bye-bye.